Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. It's Nigel here once again, and this is gonna be another tier list. So, right off the bat, have to address the elephant in the room. Unfortunately, the inevitable has happened. First, it was my mic, now it's my camera that has bit the dust. So, for a little bit, I will be sans webcam. So I hope you guys don't mind too much, and you're at least still able to hear me, which is nice. But otherwise, yeah. So I'm gonna be without a webcam at least for the time being. And I do still have my portable camera and or my phone. So though that will probably do for like the reviews and stuff. But otherwise, as I will probably get a new webcam at some point. But nevertheless, in the meantime, we still have a tier list to do, and this time we are looking at the one, the only, the devil himself, the man who is better than you and you know it, Mr. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. So we got several attires for MJF here. But then we also have our tiers down here. So, our top tier is better than you, meaning it's a very fantastic, very awesome attire. Or it's better than you, and you know it. Then we have A tier, meaning maybe not top tier, but still really good. Then we have B tier, which is kind of middle ground, not great, not horrible, but good or okay. Then we have C tier, which is towards the bottom. One or two things keeping it from the bottom, but otherwise it's not a great gear. And then the bottom we have mid, it meaning it's a terrible attire. And kind of a spoiler, I doubt like this area, like this tier here, is probably gonna be close to empty. Maybe one or two attires that may end up there. I'm not sure, but I doubt it. I doubt really anything's gonna go in there. But anyway, without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting with All In 2018. Right off the bat, it's crazy that MJF literally has been there since the beginning. And so, of course, All In, and not All In London, we will get to that, but All In, pretty much like the precursor to what would become AEW slash All Elite Wrestling. And MJF literally there since the beginning, and he talked about that in that post he made before World's End. But nevertheless, looking at his gear here, I think it looks okay. A I know it's a little bit hard to tell, but you can see kind of the plaid Burberry design. Get used to seeing Burberry because, of course, it being MJF, you're gonna see quite a bit of it. But yeah, that design is okay. I think decent, and kind of going more towards the red. Head, I do wish if you're gonna go for the Burberry, yeah, especially with MJF, you definitely should go for like more of the brown one. But nevertheless, he has that, and then he has the two lines on the side, and thankfully, MJF's gear doesn't. And aside from the colors and some of the patterns, it doesn't change up too much. It pretty much keeps its same base design, which, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But nevertheless, as this one I think is okay. So I will be putting this one in B tier. But don't worry, it's definitely gonna get better from here. It's gonna go in B tier. But then next up is Double or Nothing 2019. Here we have kind of a side by side. So this is his attire, how it looks in the AEW Fight Forever video game, a game I still have not played at this point in time, and apparently I may or may not be missing much, but I probably should pick it up at some point, at least out of curiosity, especially now that Tony Storm's being added as DLC. But nevertheless, so we got MJF's gear here, and this is the gear. So I guess this is the gear that made it into the game. And then here's how it looks at Double or Nothing in 2019, aka the first proper AEW event. But this one looks really good. Like I like the red, and I like the gold, and the black. The way those colors play with each other. So Double or Nothing 2019. And something about it I really like. Like honestly, this one, yeah, I think this one I'm gonna put an A actually. Something about it really, maybe it's because it reminds me of Iron Man and Iron Man's color scheme is phenomenal. But yeah, I think it still looks good. But then next up is Fighter Fest 2019. So MJF have in this time I'm kind of having more of like a magenta type color to it, still keeping like the gold lines and stuff, but this time having kind of a magenta-ish hue to it. I still think it looks pretty decent. Don't quite know if I like it quite as much as that red one, but the magenta design I think is fine, so it's gonna go in B. Yeah, but then next up is scroll back up. There's a lot of scroll. We have quite a few MJF attires, which is nice. We have the Dynamite debut episode as he takes on Brandon Cutler, but this one is really good. I like the gold. I like the yellow, almost into like a bronze type of design, which yellow and bronze are opposites. But yeah, that like brown, almost bronze type design on the black, I think looks really nice. Yeah, something about it I really dig. So this one, I think I'll probably put in A. Honestly, this one as well, because it looks really cool, and it almost a little too basic. But I think having the brown slash like bronze and on the black, it does help it to pop a little bit more, so it's gonna go in A for me. But then next up is Bash at the Beach 2020. So I guess WWE doesn't have all the WCW copyright, all the WCW all the WCW trademarks, I should say, copyrighted, because AEW was able to use Bash at the Beach here. But I do like MJF's tights, or trunks, who look pretty decent. And he's got the white design. I mean, it's hard to tell if it's a pattern there. This was like honestly the cleanest image I could find from this. It's admittedly, I'll be honest, some of these were kind of tricky to find, which you'd think it wouldn't be, but some of these I had kind of a tricky time finding, but I do like that. And then it's got the lines with the black border and stuff within. So Bash at the Beach 2020. This one's pretty cool too. Who don't quite know if I like it as much as the other ones, but I think it still looks nice. So it's gonna go in B for me. But then next up is going to be Revolution 2020. So this one is the black and red, which is nice because it matches MJF's face being bloodied up there, which hopefully it's small enough to where I won't get in trouble from YouTube, but or demonetized and stuff. And it probably shouldn't be demonetized because there's been worse shown on YouTube. But hey, YouTube sadly doesn't always play by their own rules. But I digress. But the black and red, I do really like. Don't quite know if I like it as much as like the black and like brown slash bronze, but I think it still looks pretty good. So nah, I'll put it in B. Yeah, I'll leave it in B. I don't quite know if it's A, but it's definitely still pretty good or decent. But then next up is Fighter Fest 2020. He going for more of a pink attire this time around, and I think it looks okay. And of course got the white boots this time around. I don't know with the design. So this one I think still looks pretty good, but for the most part, not quite Bret Hart levels of looking cool, but I think MJF still rocks the pink relatively well. So that one is going to go in B. Yep, Fighter Fest is gonna go in B, at least for me. But then next up is let's see, All Out 2020. American flag colors this time around. And I think it looks pretty cool. I do like how it's integrated with like the blue, having like the blue lines and stuff. Almost a little too much going on, but I think MJF is able to pull it off. So I think All Out is probably gonna go in. Yeah, I'll put it in B. I don't quite know if it's A, but I definitely I think it looks pretty. I think it looks pretty cool for the most part, so it's gonna go in B. But then next up is Full Gear 2020. He kind of similar to this one, except have more of like the purple in terms of the knee pads and stuff of this time around. So not really too much of a change. It just still looks okay. Hey, so did not want to do that. So if the other one was a B, then this one I'll put in B as well. Oh, oh, oh yeah. So Full Gear 2020, I'm gonna put in B. But then next up is his the Dynamite from December 9th of 2020, aka the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal, where MJF won the. I think this was the second year in a row he won the. Or this might have been the introduction of the Dynamite Diamond Ring, in which the only holder of the Dynamite Diamond Ring every year has been MJF so far. But at yeah, so and if MJF is out, it'll be interesting to see how what they do for the diamond ring, like who will win it and what they'll do with the diamond ring. But as for her MJF, we're more so here for the gear, and it's kind of hard to see, but this time a black on purple / pink. I think it looks okay. It does give it a nice pop. But otherwise, I think it looks okay. So this one, I think I will put in B. But then next up is his Revolution 2021, when MJF was a part of the Pinnacle. As for the gear, admittedly, don't quite know if I'm the biggest fan of it, mostly because like the blue on blue. It's not horrible. It's not an eyesore, but but the blue on blue, I'm not the biggest fan of. And sometimes less is more, but sometimes less is less. And not quite sure if I'm the biggest fan of this on mostly because of the blue on blue. Like I think the thing is you can have colors on top of colors as long as you're able to work it and make it look good. And this one, I think, I don't know if I'm feeling it. So this one, I think, is gonna be our first C. Yeah, something about it I'm not really the biggest fan of, but that's more so just me. And do remember these are all my opinions. So, if you disagree with any of these, that's totally fine. But next up is Blood and Guts 2021. There's the blood I was telling you about. So this was the inaugural Blood and Guts match as the Pinnacle took on the Inner Circle. Well, I think I accidentally said when MJ was part of the Pinnacle. Well, but this. At least for here, but this was when he was part of the Inner Circle, and then the Pinnacle came later and stuff. Sadly, because I got into AEW kind of late, I missed the whole Inner Circle versus Pinnacle feud, so maybe I'll go back and catch up on that. But as for the attire, for this one, and something about it I really like the white, which white gear, her and blood go together like peanut butter and jelly, and normally it's kind of a rule of thumb when it comes to wrestling. If they have white gear, that person's bleeding some buckets. But yeah, so the white gear I think is pretty cool, but it's also got the gold and kind of the purplish design, and if I remember correctly, the Pinnacle all had matching gears, and I think it was a pretty decent one there. And it's hard to tell, but I think that might be a Burberry design on the boots. If so, even more props. But as for this one, and this one I think I might give A. Something about it I really dig, so it's gonna go in A, at least for me. But then next up is Double or Nothing 2021. So I believe this was the Anarchy in the Arena match between the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle. So, this one, like street fight type gears where they're in like the regular street clothes, which makes sense because it's a street fight. But these ones, you kind of have to grade on a curve. And MJF having the Pinnacle shirt, it is a very nice touch. And I think everybody had like the Inner Circle, not Inner Circle, but Pinnacle. At least he's on MJF's team. Had the Pinnacle shirts. But so on this one, I'll at least give it a B. he obviously, like I said, you do have to grade on Kirk because it's not really a gear more or so, but I think it still works. But then next up is All Out 2021, and so this one also, they try to do the color on color, but at least he's the red here for the lines and everything is more, or is more almost heading towards like orange territory, or maybe it's just the white intermingling with it. But I think this one still looks pretty decent, and don't quite know if I dislike it as much as the blue one because at least it gives it the effort. But otherwise, is is this one's kind of just okay. Hey, don't quite. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think this one I might have to go see as well. Oh, like I said, I don't hate color on color, but but you gotta do it right. That's the thing. But then next up is Winter is Coming 2021 on the confetti gear, or kind of having the confetti on MJF's gear. I think is kind of a cool touch. Mostly just standard black when it comes to the gear, which it almost wouldn't work, but I think the confetti does make it pop and kind of save it a little bit. So otherwise, I think it looks okay for the most part. Or so I think. You know what? For this one, I'll be generous. I'll give it the B because the like confetti type design does kind of save it a little bit. And I think this was the finals for the Dynamite Diamond Ring, and he won it once again, of course. But next up is Revolution 2022, who aka the dog collar match with CM Punk. So. And I definitely gotta get caught up when it comes to CM Punk's run in AEW. It was kind of brief, but it did happen, so I'll have to get caught up at some point. As for MJF's gear here, green is my favorite color, or of course, as you may or may not know, well, green is my favorite color. This shade of green is my favorite shade of green, and the white, it helps it stand out a bit more. Or in other words, MJF's trying to kiss up, pretty much. All right, MJF, you redeemed yourself when it comes to the other gears. This one's solid. I don't know if it's quite top tier, but this one's an A. I'll give you the A. But yeah, I definitely want to get caught up when it comes to that match. But then next up is Double or Nothing 2022, who the light blue or the baby blue type gear, or I think. I think it looks pretty cool. Well, it's got the blue, it's got the black like lions and stuff up there, those might be a different type of animal. I think they're supposed to be lions, but they might be a totally different animal. And if they are, please feel free to correct me. Like Nigel, no, they're not lions, man. They're this animal. Well, but as I do like the blue and the black. Heck, and the boots, bring back the white boots, which I think is nice. So this one I think is pretty cool. That's accidentally struck my mic there. Not always my favorite shade of blue. Who is the baby blue / light blue / almost powder blue, but I think think this one works, so I'll put it in B. But then next up is All Out 2022. So, of course, this one is where MJF got totally squashed by Wardlow and then cut that worked shoot promo on the Dynamite afterwards. And then this is when he came back and introduced the Devil Mask, of course, and won the Casino ladder match. This one you also kind of have to grade on a curve as well because it's not really gear. Like the mask is the main thing. Like otherwise it's just regular gear. And also like the reveal of who it was after he took off the mask and then put the scarf on, I think was also pretty cool. But as for her, like the gear itself, kind of the solid black. The mask is the main thing about it. So you know what, we will kind of grade on that curve. And I'll at least give it a B. Yeah, on that merit. But next up is Full Gear 2022. so standard black and white gear, which I, which the thing is, as we've said before, less is more, and I think this one on, I something about it, this one I think works like the black on white. It doesn't try to do anything too crazy. Like if it's too simple, I think it loses points. But if it's kind of just it's simple but effective and still looks nice, then I think it'll still work. Plus, I do like having the white boots as opposed to the black ones to give it just that extra bit of pop up. So you know what, this one I think that does kind of save it a little bit, but I don't think I'll give it more than a B. But next up is Winter is Coming 2022. So of course, MJF won the AEW World Championship here, and now we get into the attires in his, during his AEW Championship run. On starting with Winter is Coming 2022 here, and this one I think is okay. It does have the yellow, which is nice, but don't quite know if I like it as much as the other one. It's like, especially that bronze one from earlier, but that or brown slash like bronze on something about it, something about that one I liked, but this one I think is okay as well. So we'll at least give it a B. But then next up is Revolution 2023. The white and the brown. And I believe that was a Burberry design. That he had in that particular match against Bryan Danielson. And you notice I didn't use the bloody image of MJF because again YouTube, but I think it still looks cool. Well, it's got the nice white gear. So you know what, this one, and something about it I really like, especially if that was indeed like the Burberry type pattern, or going through the lines on his trunks. I think it looks really good, but don't quite know if it's top tier, but it's still really good. I really like it. But then next up is, let's see, Double or Nothing 2023. The red and yellow design. This one on this one. This one's a little bit tricky for me, admittedly. I do want to like it. Like red and yellow. We've seen other wrestlers such as, of course, versus Hulk Hogan, and who definitely pull off the red and yellow. But I don't quite. I don't know. It's kind of weird. For some reason, it's weird this time around. Like for some reason, I like it, but I don't at the same time. It's kind of weird. Maybe it's the angle. Well, and of course, this was the Four Pillars Fatal 4-Way match. Maybe I should have picked a different picture, but I'm also trying to transport my mind back to the match itself. I'll tell with even more context when it comes to how the gear looked while he was competing and everything. But I think it looks okay. It's not horrible. Well, I just have some mixed feelings about it, admittedly. But I think at the very least, I can give it a. Yeah, we'll at the very least give it a B. Like something about it. It looks okay, but something about it's not quite clicking. At least for me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's a me thing. It probably is. But next up is going to be, and of course, I was gonna say at the end of the video, because I normally do, but I'll mention it here as well. Let me know what your favorite and least favorite MJF tires are. But nevertheless, next up, we have Forbidden Door 2023, and Of course, MJF's match against the new president of New Japan and Hiroshi Tanahashi. But as for this gear, or the black and blue gear this time around, I don't don't think it quite. I don't think I quite like it as much um, as the black and brown, but I don't think I dislike it as much as the red and the red and black. So the brown and black, brown slash like bronze and black, I think still superior one on but on meanwhile like the yellow or the red or the purple slash like pink, and don't quite know if I like it as much as those, but I think it still looks pretty. It looks okay for the most part, so we'll at least put it in B. But then next up is AEW Collision, the AEW Collision episode from July 1st of 2023. AKA, I believe that this was like MJF's AEW Collision debut, as he was defending the AEW World Championship against All Ego Ethan Page. As for the attire, Star Spangled attire, or similar to this one from All Out of 2020. Between the two, I think I might lean towards this one a little bit more, like the designs and stuff, how the flag is incorporated, I think works a bit better than the one from All Out in 2020. But but I think it's still but I think it's of course it's definitely not horrible. But I don't think it's quite A or even top tier. So it's gonna go in B. No top tier ones yet, which is interesting. But then next up is All in London 2023. So we we actually have the two attires that he wore at All in London. The first was when he defended his or no, this is when they won the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. MJF won it with his now former brochacho Adam Cole during better times for the two. But the matching gear is nice. It gets a little plus for me, but then also the blue, pretty similar to the purple he had with the Pinnacle gear or button blue. And between the two, I think I might lean towards the blue. Actually, I think I might lean towards the purple just a tad bit more. But this one I think still looks pretty cool and pretty decent for the most part. So it is going to go in. B for me. But then next up is the main event of All in London. And so, this one is the purple one, except with the white boots as opposed to the black. And you know what? Between the two, I think it looks better with the white boots as opposed to the black. Like something about it looks really good. But because it's the same one, like I don't know if the white boots quite elevates it to the top tier, but I think it still looks pretty cool. So it's gonna go in. So it's at least still gonna go in A for me. But then next up is from Dynamite Grand Slam 2023, the Met skier, baby. Yeah, as of course we all know, it's all about the Mets. I don't watch baseball. I feel like I'm unqualified to make that joke, but I've been on the internet, so I feel like I am qualified. So it's kind of a interesting tightrope we got. But this attire is really cool. Like the stripes and then the Mets colors, like something about it I really like, I really dig. So this one is our first Better Than You tier, or something about it. Maybe it's because it's an homage gear, and admittedly, those admittedly always get a pop out of me, but it's something about it I think looks really good. But then next up is Wrestle Dream 2023, the Seattle Supersonics inspired gear. Here, damn it, Max! Why are you trying to pair it to me? So he probably knew that he wasn't getting a whole lot of top tier gears here, so he's busting out the big guns. But this one still looks really cool with like the green and the yellow. Oh, like green and yellow, of course, work well as the Supersonics. Oh wait, you can't because they don't exist anymore. Anyway, but yeah, something about it. It looks really cool. This one. Yeah, I gotta. This one's also better than you. I gotta. But then next up is Full Gear, and I gotta put this one in top tier too. This one looks really cool as well, with like the yellow and the purple. Of course, that homage to the Los Angeles Lakers. I think it works really well. So this one, and I also gotta put in the top tier. Or why are you doing this to me, Max? And then last, certainly not least, the last gear he's worn, and I guess the most recent, because now, of course, he's out with the injury and stuff, is from World's End 2023. And this one, pretty similar, to this one, except a bit shinier, and more so gold as opposed to white for the blue. The shine has elevated it a bit, but I don't think I don't think it's top tier. But something about it I do still really like, and of course, we're not taking into account his banged up shoulder and everything. But something about it, you know what? This one I might put in. Yeah, this one I might put in A. Yeah, honestly, something about it I do really dig. But there you have it. There is the MJF tier list. So to recap, in Better Than You, we have Dynamite Grand Slam from 2023, Wrestle Dream from 2023, and Full Gear from 2023. In A tier, we had Double or Nothing 2019, the AEW Dynamite debut episode, Blood and Guts 2021, Revolution 2022, Revolution 2023, All in London 2023, the main event gear, and then World's End 2023. And in B tier, we have All In 2018, and Fighter Fest 2019, Bash of the Beach 2020, Revolution 2020, Fighter Fest 2020, All Out 2020, Full Gear 2020, Dynamite from December 9th of 2020, Double or Nothing 2021, Winter's Coming 2021, Double or Nothing 2022, All Out 2022, Full Gear 2022, Winter's Coming 2022, Double or Nothing 2023, Forbidden Door 2023, AEW Collision in gear from July 1st of 2023, and the tag team gear from All in London of 2023. And then C tier we have Revolution 2021 and All Out 2021. So admittedly, not quite. The list didn't quite go as I expected it to, but sometimes expect the unexpected. And of course, our mid tier is empty. But nevertheless, that is going to do it for this tier list. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor: like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts on the list and my rankings. And of course, sorry I couldn't have the face cam this time around. I gotta get a new webcam, but I definitely will at some point. But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace. And of course, before I go, what's your favorite and least favorite MJF gear? But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.